Hello and welcome back to the Household of Faith Daily Devotionals for Saturday, July the 20th of 2019. And today we're going to continue on with 1 Corinthians chapter 12 and verse 28. And Paul is talking about the gifts and the appointments of leadership. And yesterday we covered the first three, the big three of the fivefold ministry. And today we're going to be talking about those who do miracles and the healing and the speaking in unknown languages and helps and leadership. Now, there are a lot of people I've known over the years who say they have a ministry of helps. And they do all kinds of things for people. You know, they give people rides, and every time someone needs something done in the church, they volunteer and things like that. And there's nothing really wrong with that. The idea is that, yes, you can help out and do things and volunteer for things, whether you're qualified or not. You know, sometimes people just need an extra pair of hands, but it's still one of the main things that I know that the people need to remember, that whoever they're helping or whatever they're doing, it is primarily, the first thing should be for the kingdom. And you should always remember that you are an ambassador of Christ, and that you need to minister the word of God and salvation in every aspect of every area that you're doing. I personally don't know anyone who has the gift of miracles, but I know that there are. I know people who have the gift of healing, and I know that that works as well. I know many people who are in leadership positions, and so I want to talk about that a little bit first, because this is where, and I don't want to focus on what's wrong. I'm going to just say that there are people in leadership positions within the church who don't have the gift of leadership. They don't have it. It's not been given to them, and they're out of place. One of the first things that we really need to do is to correct the things that are misaligned within the body in order for us to be able to produce for the kingdom according to the standards that God has set in His Word. That's the most important thing to me. It's not about what gift I have or my personality type or things like that, because everyone has to grow in grace. Everything that you do, God is giving you specific gifts and specific abilities based upon the calling and the purpose that He has chosen for your life. And there are things within your personality that do need to be tempered with the Word of God. I mean, sometimes people do need a strong and forceful personality, but they also need to learn how to speak the truth in love and to not be harsh in what they say. And I'm going to tell you from personal experience, I had someone years ago, and I'm constantly reminded of that when they say, you know, and this young lady told me, her name was Charlene, and she said, "You talk to people like dogs." And I just, you know what, and I thought that was a bit harsh, but, you know, upon reflection, and I don't mean years later now, I don't mean 20 years later I'm reflecting back on that. I mean, reflecting on it when she said it, it was true. It was not my intention to be that harsh. And I've learned over the years to temper what I'm saying, but then, you know, as I began to seek the Lord in more recent years about what He'd actually called me to say, He said, there are some aspects of your personality that you need. I chose you specifically, and you are the way you are because you need that strength, but not the harshness. And I was like, okay, yeah, all right. So those are things that I have to constantly work on, so that, but when I say something, excuse me, I want to say it in a manner that lets you know that, no, this is serious, and it's not, no, oh, well, you know, you should just, no, that's, that's not me. That's not me. I'm just not like that. I'm saying, you know what, you need to get that right. You need to correct that. That's not right. This is what the Word says, and if you're not doing that, then that's what you need to do. That's how you need to do it. That's the way I present. When I'm talking to you, I'm going to speak to you like a person who knows what they're talking about. I'm going to speak to you like someone who understands that what needs to happen has to get done. And what does this have to do with leadership? Well, you know what? You need a leader who is truly a leader. You don't want someone who can't make a decision. You don't want someone who is unsure about any decision that they make and second guessing themselves and asking other people what they think but never making a decision. That's not a sign of true leadership. And if you are a leader and you are not leading, then you need to seek the Lord about where you should be. Because either you need to make some changes in your own life, or you need to step out of that leadership role. It's just one way or another. Either you're a leader or you're not. And the world puts people in leadership positions based upon a lot of different criteria: educational background, and because you're somebody's friend or they like you, and all kinds of reasons, not because you're truly a leader. And you can take all the classes in the world that you want, and that will not make you a leader. Okay? Just that simple. Now, we kind of covered before the unknown languages, and there are people who can speak multiple languages, and God has gifted them with that ability. And there are people who, like I said, the ones who do miracles. I don't know anyone who has that gift personally. I know that there are, because it wouldn't be listed in there, but I don't know them personally. But I am looking forward to meeting someone with those abilities. Now, like I said before, I do know some people with healing. And, if you got the gift of healing, and you need to exercise that, there are many people that need to be healed. And you need to step out there. You need to step out there on your faith and knowing that God will do what you say, because He is giving you that gift. You don't have to ask God to heal someone. The gift is yours to use at your discretion. Okay? Well, thank you so much for joining us today, and we will see you tomorrow.